Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about making it easy to win, which is really the opposite of what most dieters do. Most dieters go into their weight loss really setting themselves up to make it almost impossible to win. And what I mean by that is that most dieters are going to approach their weight loss by saying, okay, I need to start losing weight quickly. What is the most extreme thing I can do? And whether you choose to track every calorie, not eat for 16 hours, only eat protein, to not eat any carb, whatever it is you choose to do, it's usually so dramatic. And on top of that, you don't really appreciate what you've done. You only appreciate perfection. Okay. So again, the average dieter is going to start, they haven't thought about their weight in 3, 4, 5 months minimum. And now all of a sudden tomorrow, that's what matters. We're going to change our eating completely. And even if they change their eating, let's just say it doesn't even matter what plan, right? But imagine you change your eating 80, 85%. That feels like failure to a dieter, right? It's either all or nothing. You either hit 100%, change your eating 100% tomorrow and every day after that until you get to your goal weight, or nothing, right? It's this all or nothing idea. And it sets you up for failure, because how in the world are you, who has not been in control of your eating for a long time, all of a sudden tomorrow going to be able to be completely in control of your eating and never make a mistake with it? Right? It sounds, hopefully when I put it that way, it sounds silly. You're not going to be able to do that. And what ends up happening is that even if you do well, even if you change 85% of your eating, you feel like a failure. And if you feel like you're failing, if you feel like you're always coming up short, if you feel like you're constantly walking this tightrope of anxiety that you're going to make a mistake, how long do you think you're going to do it for? It's not a fun way to live. And it makes you feel like a failure. So you're going to quit most likely. So the alternative to that is to make it easy to win. And the way you make it easy to win is you set smaller goals for yourself. You measure things differently and you have different expectations for yourself. So if you start with the idea that maybe you've been out of control with your eating your whole life, maybe you've been out of control with your eating the last 3 months. So, okay, tomorrow I want to do better in service of doing really good at some point in the future. But weight in changing my eating behaviors has to be very similar to how I change other behaviors in my life. And rarely do I think there's an area of my life that I can just completely change what I'm doing in one day, 100%. And so instead, what we do is we start to look for little things we can change that are relatively comfortable. So for example, instead of trying to change 100% of your eating, maybe you start to work on breakfast. Maybe you start to optimize breakfast. I'm going to eat a piece of fruit at breakfast. I'm going to have what I am eating, I'm going to optimize. I'm going to upgrade it. Instead of white bread, I'm going to eat wheat bread, something like that. And you start to make little shifts and changes like that. You say, I'm going to start working on my breakfast. I'm going to start drinking more water. I'm going to get to sleep a little bit earlier tonight. I'm going to start to be a bit more mindful and attempt to make better food choices. I'm going to start to prepare more, Now I'm breaking things down, but that's kind of the key, right? Because as you start to break things down and set more specific goals for yourself in a manageable way as part of the process, you set yourself up to have lots of opportunity to win. But you're the one who gets to define what is a win and what's a loss. And what's happened is the diet industry has defined that for you. And they've defined weight loss as being this all or nothing thing. Whereas if you're serious, if you're really going to do it, you're going to do it all the way. You're going to start tomorrow. You're going to be perfect. And there's really very little room for you not to be perfect with your weight loss plan. Because if you're not perfect, you feel like you're failing. Doesn't it feel that way? And if you always feel like you're failing, if you always feel like you're failing when you're not perfect, that's going to be a lot of the time, because how can you be perfect all the time? And that's what this all comes back down to, is the acceptance that no, you cannot be perfect. Yes, you can think about being perfect. You can imagine yourself being perfect. You can even expect yourself to be perfect if you want to. But the reality is, in your life, when you look at it, when have you been able to be perfect for weeks at a time, months at a time, years at a time, in any area of your life? Where have you been able to be perfect? And you're going to find nowhere. We're humans. We make mistakes constantly. And this is one of the most I think it's one of the worst things the diet industry does is that they set it up Excuse my voice. Excuse me. So they set it up so you're set up for failure because again, that's the game you're playing, right? It's like I don't know, you know about football, but it's like instead of downs, you get one down, not 10 yards. You get one down and you get a touchdown or you don't get, that's it. Baseball, you don't get 3 strikes. You don't get 4 balls. You get 1 pitch. You either hit a home run or you don't, and it's like, that's how you're approaching dieting. And it is crushing. It is crushing motivationally, mindset wise, psychologically. And so if you flip that around and start to make it easy to win, and you start to realize I'm going to do a little bit each and every day, I'm going to get better, 1% better each and every day. What ends up happening is after a year, you're not even 365% better. You're actually 3,650% better. It actually multiplies on itself to that number because it's exponential growth. Each day gets better on the previous day's improvements. And so this is the path forward. And this is what you've done in every other area of your life. This is how you approach change. You know that it's going to take some time. You know that it's a practice. You know there's ups and downs. But when it comes to weight, you have been conditioned that it's black or white, all or nothing. And you think you're going to flip this switch into all mode and stay there. And the proof's in the pudding. Have you done that ever? For an extended period of time? Extended period of time in my mind is over 2 years. And that's not just the losing weight. That's like once you get to your goal weight, the clock starts there. Have you ever lived at your goal weight after you've lost weight for 2 years? That's what we're talking about. That's what the time frames we're talking about. So as you start to think this way, you can hopefully make this a more comfortable, easier process for you because subconsciously you've been trained to make this literally impossible, which is why no one loses weight on a diet long term. So I hope this really impacts you and give this some thought. If you want to go deeper into this mindset, click the link in my bio and go get the free hypnosis session I give you. It's called The New Thin Me. It is designed to help you connect directly with your goal weight self. So it is literally a neurologically wiring process where you imagine yourself as the person you want to be, which literally creates the neural connections that begins that process of being the person you want to be. So go check that out. It's completely free. I also give you a free training. Got a bunch of other cool stuff coming for you as well. Believe me, I got some cool stuff coming. I am telling you, and I know I say this a lot, but it's right on the tail. It'll be ready today, tomorrow. I'm so excited, and it's free. Again, I always say no one gives you more free stuff than me. And I already believe that's true, but I'm about to hit a whole nother level. So anyways, go click that link in the bio and go get that hypnosis session. If you're over in Facebook land or YouTube land, let me put this link in there for you. And you can go here. My voice is sounding a little better. I don't know what's going on. So annoying. Oops. Yeah, so you can go here and opt in. You'll get the free hypnosis session. Go check that out. Marlou says, hi, love your videos. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Andrea says, thank you. That's great advice. All the best for 2026. Thank you. Yeah, same to you. Yeah, we're still in the new year. Again, to that point, if you are thinking about getting Program Yourself Thin the system, this is it. The last 4 days to ever be able to get it at this price. It is going up permanently to $500, and that's going to be that. So this will be your last chance to get it at this price. I know I've said this before, but again, at least, you're forewarned. While I am probably the boy who cried wolf, this time I promise you it is, it's a real deal. What's up, Moira? I love the program. Thank you. Yes, program's kicking ass. Program Yourself Thin's awesome. It's an exciting time. We actually also have just released my book. It's been exciting. What's in here? Oh, my sourdough stickers. I love sourdough cooking. My wife got me some sourdough stickers. They're funny. But let me get the actual book. That was the author proof. Here we go. So we got that. Boxes. Yes. So this is out. This is out now. You can go get it. Places people get books. I'm not going to say the place of it yet because I haven't been restricted on TikTok, so I don't want to. But yes, this book is available. It's down to its lower discounted price as well. So you can go check that out if you're interested. People loving it. We got a lot of reviews. We had over 50, well over 50 last I looked. So that was kind of exciting too. And so thank you everyone who wrote a review. I really appreciate it. And yeah, and we got to number one. Got the number one bestseller. So that was pretty cool too. Oh yeah, we're one review away from 60 right now. All right, come on. If you read the book, come on, go write me a review if you like it. Moira, I saw you wrote that. Yeah, I love the book too, but can't leave a review on Amazon. Well, I appreciate the effort. Yes, I know. That's one thing I learned. Oops, I said here goes TikTok. Yeah, Bookworm says, waiting for a Cooking with Jim Katsoulis cookbook. No, I actually think about that. That's definitely in the plans at some point. It's a little bit further down the path of what I'm working on, but I'm definitely going to start doing more cooking videos, more food based things. Some of it I'm not going to do. It's funny. Like I started to do sourdough and I'm so into it. And it's just funny. So, but here we go though. I will let you know. Yes, I am doing sourdough, but I am already in the phase of it where I'm looking to make it as healthy as possible. So, my wonderful wife got me a mill, right? So you can literally mill your own grains. That's pretty cool, right? And then she got me a subscription to I don't know what you would call it. I guess a grain. I don't know what it is. Like a granary program, whatever. Anyways, I'm getting like lots of different grains, like ancient grains, like shit. And I don't remember what they are. I'm blanking on them. Come on, spelt's one of them. I don't know. I'm a blanking on whatever. Never mind. Doesn't matter. But anyways, the point being, and I've been experimenting with it. And I have been playing with it because I have to wait like another couple weeks to get those grains. But I went and got a bunch of hard red berries, which is like hard wheat, grain. And I milled those and made them. But it's different making whole wheat flour. You have to treat different. So it comes out a lot more dense. So anyways, I'm playing around with that. But my point being that at some point I will absolutely be making videos of my ancient grain sourdough loaves, and concoctions. And I'll be looking to make them as appetizing and enjoyable as possible. But it's pretty exciting to me because it's I would say it's like a food category unlocked. I've never really thought about bread. Like, you think about like rice or quinoa or farro, what you think about like kind of on the side as a grain. So I've never really thought about those grains being in loaf form. So it's kind of a new idea in my mind, and I'm excited to play around with it. And I'll keep you updated with it. But it's actually been pretty fun. Moira says, it just says I don't meet their criteria. Yeah, I get it, Moira. I really appreciate the effort. And yeah, sometimes dealing with that site is they got a lot of rules over there where you get books at. Where this book's at right now, this book here. But people are loving it. I'm loving it. It's a really, again, this book is set up to be, this is it's written. The point of this book here is that each chapter, there's 40 chapters in here, and it takes you through the Program Yourself system in kind of an easy, light, accessible way. And each chapter is a hypnotic story. And it's really built around the idea of like Taoism is an Eastern philosophy. And I guess the main idea of it is that you kind of flow through life. You flow with what you have to do. And part of the idea is that a lot of times, well, specifically with weight, a lot of times we've been conditioned to think of weight as like a battle, right? It's a fight, And Taoism is almost like, I don't know if you know Aikido. Aikido is a martial art where they use the other person's energy against them. Right. Tai Chi does that a bit. Right. And so the Taoist kind of concept is that you kind of flow with things, even the challenges. And so it's just fundamentally a different approach to the challenges and difficulties you face, just in life, the basic Taoism. But then this book specifically is really about weight wise. How do you manage your weight and live at your goal weight in the easiest, most comfortable, flowing way possible? That's the point of it. And, the answer is a little different for each person because every person's their own, has their own situation. But when you start to approach it that way, you prime your mind to think of it differently. And what the diet industry has done is they've trained you to think about your weight loss as a battle, as a fight, as a war. And that's how you've internalized it. And ironically, that internalization of it is a big part of why you resist losing weight, why you avoid it, why it stresses you out, and most likely why you haven't been successful with it. What's up, Engen? Engen said, I got the hard copy when it was first out. I ordered 4 more for gifting. Well, thank you so much. And that's been one of the coolest things. I will tell you, writing this book, I knew it was good. I take the no bullshit pledge here. So I'm not going to bullshit you. I knew this book was good when I was writing it. I knew that, but you never really know until you let it out into the world. And so one of the most enjoyable parts has been reading the reviews that people have been leaving. That's been really cool. But the other side that I didn't really think about that really is just so cool is all the people buying lots of copies of them to give them away. That is the coolest, because that's what I want this for more than anything. Because again, I wrote this and I'm sell it, pretty much as cheap as I can, and it's because I just want to get the word out there, in a really light, accessible way. So it makes me so happy to think that someone who has been struggling with their weight and feeling just dejected and apathetic about the whole thing and feel like giving up, and what else can they do? For them to all of a sudden have this book fall in their lap is really the whole reason I wrote it. And I just think this is such a different approach to it. And I think we can approach it a lot more effectively than what we're doing, as dieters. That's the main idea. Well, thank you, Engen. I believe it. Nancy says, I don't know how I found you, but I'm on day 13 and I love the program. All right, Nancy. Nice. Well, welcome. Yes. Still a noob in the program. So I'm proud of you for signing up, taking action. And I think that, you're just at the beginning. So this is exciting. I'm glad you're enjoying it too. Yeah, it just keeps getting better and better and better, I hope. And let's camera down a little bit. There we go. So yeah, keep it up, Nancy. Nice job. But yeah, if anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask them. Any weight loss questions are welcome. How are people doing these days? I don't know. People even trying to lose weight anymore? Are we just either trying, or we're either not trying, or we're just getting injections? What are people up to? What are people thinking? I think that GLP-1, someone was mentioning yesterday, Oprah, who was a big fan of GLP-1s, did her big special, but I guess she came off of them and put 20 pounds on in a month or something, which, hey, we all knew that. Even the pharmaceutical companies don't try and hide that. Again, it's a temporary fix, temporary, attempt at something at best, so that is part of it. But outside of that, if you're actually trying to lose weight, what are you doing? How's it going? Moira says, I'm losing inches at the moment. Nice. Good job, Moira. And I love Moira. I think you mentioned that the other day, Moira, and I think it's a great idea that when you are looking to lose weight, I think the more measurements you have, the better, right? So I think it's a mistake to only measure your weight. I think you should measure, size in inches, right, is a good one. I think you should measure your energy levels. I think you should measure your moods and your mindset. I think you should measure your thinking and how clear it is or how sluggish it is. I think you should measure lots of things, because the more things you measure, the more you start to appreciate all the value you're getting out of something. We don't want to measure it just one way. I think that's silly, I think we want to recognize, because, and I say this all the time, I think this is fundamental to how I think about the whole weight thing, is that if you're going to change your weight for real, right? If you're really going to focus on your weight and get a handle on it in your life, it's going to take a lot of work. There is no shortcut. There is no hack. There is no one diet that's just going to fix your weight forever. Like, no way. No way. So it's going to have to become a focus, a sustained focus for you, right? And, as you start to think of it that way, I think that, you start to realize that if you're going to take this on, you might as well get more benefit out of it than just losing weight. This is why in Program Yourself Thin, we take the weight loss and we wrap it in personal development, because I know to lose the weight is going to take a lot of effort and focus and energy. So why not get 10 times the benefit out of it than just losing weight, right? Because dieters are just losing weight. Dieters are jumping into their diets day one. Day one, they're stressed out. They start their plan. Now I'm more stressed. I'm emotional. I'm anxious. I'm tense. I'm bored. You know what I mean? Like all these negative feelings. That's what a diet is for you. And with Program Yourself Thin, we start by relaxing, calming down, grounding ourselves, centering ourselves, taking a deep breath, relax. Let's approach this from that perspective. Does that make sense? I know we live in a crazy world, because how can it be weird for me to say, because doesn't it make sense that when you're going to start your weight loss thing, right? Because again, you start your weight loss thing like it's a sprint. It's like you're holding your breath. Come on, let's do it. I got to do it. It's like, calm down. calm down. There's no rush here. It's going to take a while. And on top of that, once you get to your goal weight, you want to keep it off, right? So we're talking about a plan. We're talking about a process that you want to do forever. You forever want to live at your goal weight, right? But in your mind, you can't even imagine that possibility because you associate so much stress and strain to dieting that it's impossible for your brain to imagine a lifetime of doing that all the time. And so it just goes out of your mind. With Program Yourself Thin, you don't start with a meal plan on day one. You start by listening to a hypnosis session for 5 minutes in the morning. So you start and you close your eyes, you relax your body, you take some deep breaths. Then you start to hear good messages coming in. But the core of it is that physiologically you're relaxing. I don't know all of you, but I'm going to guess that all of you here are probably tense and stressed and kind of up here with the tension and stress levels. Do you make good food choices the more stressed you are or the more calm you are? Again, I hope I'm not saying anything crazy here, but in your life, do you typically make better food choices when you're more stressed or less stressed? I'm not being sarcastic, but how do dieters just not consider this? Because what's a diet? Okay, so answer that question. Do you tend to make better food choices when you're more stressed or more relaxed? Okay. Now the next question is when you go on a diet, when you go on a diet and when you're on a diet, are you more stressed or more calm? Okay, so now let's put it all together, right? So if you are making yourself more stressed to lose weight, but when the more stressed you are, the more you eat and the worse food decisions you make, how is that a good plan or strategy? Could anyone explain that to me? I don't know. Seems weird to me. Ken says, what's up, Kent? Kent says 16 months on PYT and amazed at how insignificant the weight loss seems compared to how my life has improved. Thanks, Jim. You're welcome. You're welcome, Ken. I love that. I'm gonna screenshot that. I think that's such a program yourself thing to say. The dieter's like, what? The weight loss insignificant? What are you doing then? You know, because again, the weight loss matters for sure. But it's like, again, the weight loss is wrapped in personal development. So when we're going through the process, ironically, like with Program Yourself Thin, we don't want the weight to be the number one thing we're focusing on. There's a little tip for you. The more you make weight loss the main thing, the worse you're going to do typically. So what we want to do is we want to make the weight loss secondary. We want to make you being the best version of yourself possible. So what is the best version of you? Right now, everyone's got a different definition for that because everyone's got a different thing that they value in life, right? So again, if you're a parent, it might be that. If you're a partner in your relationship, it might be that. If you're, your work, right? It might be your work that's most important. It might be your hobbies. It might be your personal development, whatever. There's things in your life that are really, really important to you. Now, the question is, if you were living healthier, if you had more energy, if you were more clear-minded, if your emotions were more balanced and brighter, how would that impact those areas of your life that are most important to you? Do you see what I mean? So we start looking at it that way. And yes, the weight's part of that, but it's not the main thing. And so by looking at it that way, you're tapping into a much deeper motivation. You know, you need to build your motivation around what's truly important to you, not by saying, okay, now the weight's really important to me. That just doesn't work. And there's a reason it doesn't work. It's not a mystery. You're not broken. It's a shitty strategy. You know? Moira says, I'm using the hypnosis to help me sleep. Yes, of course. Hypnosis is, in my opinion, hypnosis is probably one of the number one things you can do to become a better sleeper, to get better sleep. I think yoga is probably number one. Okay. But I think they're both right in the ballpark. And that's why I offer, with all the core hypnosis sessions, there's a regular version and a sleep gnosis version. So it's designed to be listened to at night while you fall asleep. So it helps you relax, get ready to fall asleep, but at the same time, you're hearing all these wonderful messages. And the sleep gnosis versions of them does them a count out. So once we kind of get into the hypnotic state, it just kind of ends. You know what I mean? Play some music out, then you just go to sleep, you know, as opposed to the regular sessions, which have a count out at the end. But that's great. That's great, Moira. And again, sleeping just crucial too, you know, because sleeping is fundamental to managing your weight. Engen says, can you add more hypnosis sessions for binge eating at night? I'm getting better, but I still have hiccups. It feels terrible to fall into the emotional binge eating at night after being so good. Yeah, well, Engen, yes, I can definitely put that on the list to make some more sessions of. But great job doing work and great job feeling how shitty it feels. Again, we always learn through contrast. We learn through contrast. This is why being perfect with your weight loss really is not important. What really matters is acting different. And even if you eat well for one day, if you use it appropriately, you can get a lot of value out of that. And this is a perfect example. So Engen is working on the binge eating at night. And so there's good nights, bad nights. But what's happening is that's creating a contrast in your mind. You're starting to realize the difference, because a lot of times I was like this. I used to snack every single night. It was every night. And so that was just my norm. And what I started to do is I started, to add one night a week where I wouldn't snack a night, and all of a sudden it created a contrast. And so all of a sudden I noticed how I felt when I didn't eat at night. I noticed I slept better. I noticed I woke up with more energy. I noticed mentally I felt way more on track and proud of myself and happy with myself. And I started to notice all these differences. And that was the beginning. That was the seed that really grew into the tree of me not eating at night anymore through a comfortable, genuine process. It wasn't me fighting it and forcing myself not to eat at night. It was me really internalizing and recognizing I feel so much better when I don't eat at night, and I feel so much shittier when I do eat at night. And I really internalized that until the point it just finally took hold. And, it was easy for me to say, no, I don't want to eat at night. I like going without, in the evening. So great job, Engen. This is part of the process. Don't feel like it's not. So just utilize it. Nice job. What's up, Tom? How's it going? Yeah, so if anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask them. Bookworm says, both in the PYT program and the book, your water chapters are priceless for me. Yes, the water chapters are so good. It is true. I love the water chapters. A lot of people said they like the water chapter of this book here. Again, this book here really takes you through the Program Yourself Then system in a very simple, accessible way. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the water chapter. A lot of people like that one. The flow of life. That's one of the things, here's an example of what I mean about this book here, and really just hypnosis in general. Hypnosis is really a way to communicate. So I think of hypnosis as kind of like a Trojan horse. So it's not the thing itself, it's the thing that delivers the thing. So with hypnosis, we're using hypnotic language. Really, all hypnotic language is language designed to kind of bypass your critical faculty and to stoke your imagination. That's the simple version of it. So I don't want to just tell you to drink more water. You've heard that a million times and it hasn't helped you to drink more water. What I'm looking to do is to get you to think differently about water. And your brain thinks in images and pictures and movies. And so instead of telling you to drink more water, I'd rather tell you a story that may change the way you think about water that naturally gets you to drink more water. So I'll give you an example. I'll read a chapter out of this book, Water, the Flow of Life. The plant on her counter looked tired. Its leaves drooped, color faded. The soil was dry and cracked. She got a cup of water and poured it in. The soil darkened. Tiny bubbles rose. Slowly, the leaves began to lift, their color deepening to a dark green, and suddenly it looked alive again. She smiled, realizing she was in the same situation. Her body had felt heavy, her thoughts dull. She'd been reaching for food, for caffeine, for energy that was getting harder and harder to find. But what she really needed was water. She filled a glass and drank. Her body relaxed, her mind cleared. What felt like hunger was only first. What felt like fatigue was just dehydration. With water, everything began to flow again. Her energy lifted, her focus returned, her body felt light and clear. This is the wisdom of water. It doesn't force, it flows. It wakes the body, it clears the mind. It brings everything back into balance. Without it, you fade. With it, you return to life. So you get a sense and an idea that this isn't just telling you the science and the facts of why you should drink more water. It's kind of going around the conscious mind. That's that bypassing the critical faculty. I'm not going to sit here and try and convince you to drink more water. I'm going to use metaphors and stories and analogies to speak to your subconscious mind. And maybe after hearing that chapter, now you internalize being dehydrated differently. Maybe you imagine in your mind when you've seen plants that have needed water and you can see them wilty. And you start to think of yourself in that way. And you start to remember what it felt like to water that plant, to watch it come back to life. And you start to internalize that water and that hydration in your body at the proper level a little differently. Where now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, without forcing it, you start to crave and desire to drink more water. You start to yearn for that feeling of perfect hydration. I think this shit's great. I don't know. I just think it's the greatest. So I love hypnosis so much. And good news is you don't have to be hypnotized for hypnosis to work. I get that regularly, and especially I've been getting lately a little bit, where people tell me I can't be hypnotized. Which I say to my master hypnotist self, I say, how do they know? How do they know? You know, have they ever been hypnotized? Apparently not, right? Because they've never been hypnotized. But what's their definition of hypnosis? Because really, we're hypnotized each and every day. Every time you watch TV or a movie, you're in a state of hypnosis. Think about it. Think about your favorite show. Do you sit there watching that and saying, oh, that's not real. That's just an actor. Oh, that's just a script. They're just saying words someone wrote for them. Oh, that's just you know what I mean? Like, you're not doing that. That would be your conscious mind saying, none of this is real. Why am I reacting to it? No, you go along for the ride. You allow that show or movie. You just imagine it. You live in that movie in your imagination, and you have the experiences that you would have as if you were in there. And it's fun because that's what your imagination can do. It can create a real experience to the point that if you watch sports, you might literally release adrenaline in your body. So that's how powerful your imagination is. It can literally change your biochemistry. So hypnosis is looking to use that ability for good, you know, and for what you want. Bookworm says, I'm a Coke Zero and Earl Grey tea person. All right. Yeah, that's fine. At some point, you may decide you want to rethink about the Coke Zero, but again, we have to change everything all at once. Bookworm says, yep, it's totally awesome. Absolutely amazing. Yes. Sweet Quest said, is there an audio version of the book? Not yet, but I think we will have one by the end of the month is what I'm thinking. There should be an audio version available by the end of the month. And I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that. I mean, I guess I'll use, I don't know. I gotta kind of figure that whole thing out anyways, but I'm gonna record it soon. So Lorianne says, how do I find the book and podcast? I use Facebook only. Okay, Lori, well, here's a couple things for you. First thing is I would suggest is click this link I'm about to put in here. If you're on TikTok, you can just click my bio. But this here is the link to get a free hypnosis session. So I really strongly suggest you get that, because I'm not even just giving you a hypno. Okay, I'll give you a little hint. I'm giving you all away. I'm putting together. It's called PYT Spark. It is a free program. I'm giving to you for free. You want to know what it's got? Okay, it's got the new Thin Me hypnosis session, free. It's a kickstart session to help you connect to your goal weight self and get all fired up and motivated from that. Okay, that's free. You get 3 steps to mastering your weight. It's a training I put together. That shit is solid gold. You get that. You're going to get the goal weight quiz to help you decide and figure out what is the best weight for you in your life. Which weight feels like home for you? It's going to take you through that process. You're going to get the Program Yourself Thin Method report, which is going to literally break down the core technique we use, the redo rehearsal technique. That's what the whole program is really built around. And I give you that report that shows you how to use it. And finally, this is kind of a real special one. And I think I'm going to do this. This may change, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it. Is you're actually going to get access to Jim AI. And Jim AI is my AI clone who is literally like talking to me. And Jim AI can literally coach you through whatever struggles or challenges you're having. And it's literally like talking to me. So if you're having any struggles or challenges or any questions, you can use that. So yes, that is coming down the pike here. What's up, Nicola? Nicola, probably. Nicola says, hi from New Zealand. You're so motivational and enjoy your updates. Thank you. Yes, and if you get that free hypnosis session, again, if you're in TikTok, you can click my picture on the top left there and go to the bio, click that link. Go get the free hypnosis session. And if you're on Facebook, you can go that link I just put in there. I'm looking at something. This looks too high. All right. Okay, that looks better. All right, I'm just, I feel like a little kid. Over on Facebook, I'm like, I don't know why the camera's kind of putting up, so I look like this tall, like in the shot. It's kind of weird. So, all right, there we go. I feel a lot better now. Like a little kid. You know, I see those giant chairs people sit in. That's what I feel like. It just looked weird. All right, all better. Engen says, I know you have the relaxation at the beginning of your hypnosis sessions to help relax our minds, but do you have any other recommendations for us to be more suggestible for those sessions? Yeah, my suggestion is to keep practicing physical relaxation. And what I would suggest, Engen, if you really want to go deeper into this, is I would go to the lifestyle section and listen to the meditation part. And the training's like 15 minutes, but I show you the 1 minute meditation, and I would start practicing that. The meditation will dramatically help you become more suggestible and quiet your mind and be present for the sessions. So that'd be my quick and simple answer to that one. But yeah, if anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask them. Any weight loss questions are welcome. Era says, do you have a Facebook group or are you streaming through your profile? That's a great question you ask. That's something I consider too, is that like a Facebook group. Right now, I just stream through the Program Yourself Thin page. But no, well, I mean, specifically because you're mentioning Facebook. So I actually stream directly to TikTok natively through my phone. And then I use a service to simultaneously stream to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And Facebook, I'm streaming to my Program Yourself Thin page. I know, I think about a group sometimes. I'd set a group up at one point. I'm not a good group leader, is what I've learned. I've learned that that's not one of my strengths. So I got rid of it. Well, I didn't get rid of it. I kind of decommissioned it. So it's still there, but it's just not active, We now have the Circle app, and I was kicking around maybe opening that up to free people. I just don't think I'm going to do that because, again, I have enough trouble keeping up with people that are actually in the program. So I don't think I'm going to do that part. But in that being said, maybe I would do a Facebook group. I don't know. If any of you all know about Facebook groups and think I should, I don't know, shoot me an email or something. If you have any information on that, let me know. I don't know. I don't know the best way to set that up. But yeah, a group is better and the community becomes more supportive of each other. Yeah, I know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I will do that because, again, and I agree 1,000% because the Circle app, it's really cool. And again, it's just kind of getting started, so it's not a full formed group yet. And that's one of the goals in the coming month here is to get that cranking up more. But yes, absolutely, having people able to connect with each other and talk about the system and all the stuff going on is super helpful. So I know I kick that around. It's more the moderation of things that I'm not very good at and up to date on. So that's my hesitancy, with that. Yeah, it's like a support system for updates with mods and admins. Yeah, that's the problem, the mods and the admins. Because I have to, I know I'm not going to be able to do it. And so then I have to find someone to do it. And it's just another thing. So again, there will be a point where that's where I'm working at, but I got a lot of kind of core things I'm wrapping up right now, which are really wrapping up. But again, I know I've said this before, but it's like, because we just launched the book. The book was last week. And so that's kind of like starting to do its thing now. Had to figure out how to send things. Like I said, the price of the program is going up next week. I'm telling you that now. So if you're thinking about getting the program, you can go to programyourselfthin.com. It's still got the New Year's special pricing there. That is it. It's not going to be that price anymore. I'm letting you know. It goes up $200. It goes under $200 next Monday, and that's it. Because starting next Monday, on the flip side, though, it is $200 more, but you're going to get this book with it. So anyone that orders after Monday, the price goes up, but also every order is going to include, you get the blueprint, and signed copies of it too, and this book as well. So, there's a reason for it. But anyways, right now, you're not getting that. By the way, I will make that clear. It's $200 less right now, but you do not get the physical versions of these. You get the PDF versions of it for free. If you want the physical versions, it's like $40 and you can order that. But so it's still a much better deal right now. So just letting you know that, okay? Because I don't want to hear it next week because that price is going away. I know I've been saying this for a long time, but everything's in place now. So that's what's going to happen. But anyways. Jody, no Facebook. I know that. I know not to do it. I've already done it. I've tried. Not only have I done it, I've attempted to do Facebook groups probably 4 or 5 times. And it's just not it's definitely not good for me. That I know for sure. And so the next option is really to have admins and moderators and all that stuff. And that's just a whole thing too. So that's a little bit off in the distance. Maybe I might not even do it. I don't know. I don't know if there's any benefit to it. Yeah, you'll have to do some recruiting. Yeah, exactly. It's just, I got other things to do. So we will see. All right. Well, I think we get out of here. Actually, I do have a lot of stuff to do here today, so I'm gonna scoot out. Again, this book is available now. You can go get it at Amazon. You can get the Kindle. You can get the physical version. It's at its new prices now, so it's $2.99 for the Kindle version. It's $9.99 for the physical version. Definitely recommend the uh, physical version if you're going to get it. I think holding it's got a good energy. I like it a lot. All right, so that is available. If you want something free though, you can click the link in my bio, or you can go to programyourselfthin.com and go get the free self hypnosis session I give you. It's called The New Thin Me. It's a Kickstart session, totally free. Go check it out. I also give you a bunch of other things for free as well. And if you like listening to this, I'm here every Monday through Friday, usually around noon Eastern. And if you can't make the live, it's also a podcast. So you can go to any podcast platform, search Program Yourself Thin, and it'll pop up and you can listen whenever you want. So, all right, everyone, have a super duper day and we'll talk soon. Bye.